How's it going, guys? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how my kids' chores fit into their new chore checklists, and I'm also going to be showing you which chores they will be doing on which days, and kind of how you can fit your chores into your weekly rhythm. If you're new around here, I'm Kassy, and I make videos all about how to streamline your home so you can reclaim 7 extra hours in your week. If that sounds like something you would be into, be sure to subscribe down below because I would love to see you on the next video. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to start with my 8.5-year-old daughter's checklist, and she would tell you that she's almost 9. So she will be 9 for most of the time when she is doing this checklist. Usually we redo and redistribute the chores as well as my cleaning routine around this time of year. I have a couple of kids who have birthdays in the spring and one in the summer, so it's around everyone's birthdays, and we kind of just use this as a time to change out the chores, get everyone some fresh new chores that they could be working on, and also make sure that the chores are matching with the age that they are at. Sometimes they need a little bit more difficult chores as they are getting older. Sometimes they need more chores, depending on if they prefer to have more easy chores or fewer difficult chores. So we just kind of make sure that everyone is doing the proper amount, pulling their weight. And I love it because I think chores are just so important for children. One of my goals is to make sure that the children are familiar with just about every area of running a home by the time they have their own home. And I hear so often from comments that people make, from emails, people saying, I never learned how to run a home. Maybe they say, my mom did everything, or my mom worked outside the home, and so we didn't really have a system for in the home, or things like that. And people are having to figure it out as adults, and it's much harder to do it that way. So I feel like having chores for your kids is such an important life skill, and when you cycle through the chores, at least this is what I have found, by the time a year has gone by, they're kind of tired of whatever chores they have been doing. So they will often choose very different chores the next year. And as you keep going through, they're going to pick all of the different chores. Even though you probably would have wanted to do that and maybe you would have picked a different order, it doesn't really matter the order. As long as they eventually touch on every area of the house, they will know what to do when they have their own place. And I think chores are just so important for giving them those life skills that they need when they are an adult. The other reason I think chores are so important is kids actually have a psychological need to feel that they are contributing to the family. And they need to feel like what they are doing matters and that it actually is helping out. They have found that kids whose parents tell them, oh, here, sweep the floor, after the parents have already swept it, are much less interested in helping out than children whose parents give them actual jobs to do that are, of course, age appropriate. Now, if you aren't quite sure which chores are appropriate for which ages, that's okay. If you have my autopilot workbook, or if you would like to purchase it, if you'd like your templates to look like mine will in the video today, I have an entire page that will help you figure out which chores are good for which ages. And you can see the whole thing is organized by different age categories. So we've got 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 8, 9, etc. And then we have how many chores they should be doing each day at each age as well. So obviously for the younger ones, the chores are much easier. And then as they get older, they get more complicated. And the idea is that an 8 or 9-year-old, say, would be able to do everything that the 6 and 7, 4 and 5, and 2 and 3-year-old can do. So that can be really helpful if you aren't quite sure where to start. But if you don't want to purchase that, that's okay. I am sure that you can apply a little bit of logic and figure it out. Or if your kids have never done chores before, do some chores with them together before you assign any chores and see which ones they are good at, see which ones they seem to enjoy. It's really not rocket science, but it does take a little bit of strategy to figure out something that will challenge them enough to keep them engaged, but yet is also at their level and they don't feel overwhelmed when they are trying to accomplish it. So just keep those things in mind as you are figuring out your kids' chore checklists. So like I said, my daughter is 8.5, or as she would say, almost 9. And this will be her chore checklist for the rest of 2024 and into 2025. Now you may be thinking, if my kids get tired of their chores by the time a year goes by, why not mix them up more often than that? And there's a couple of reasons. One, it takes time to do this. You gotta sit down, you gotta figure everything out, you gotta rewrite the checklist, you gotta figure out who is doing what, and I have to redo my cleaning routine because sometimes they want to do pieces of that, and it's a little bit of a process. And the other reason is it's life. I don't necessarily love having to do the same things every single week to, clean the bathrooms or whatever it is, but some things still need to be done. So I try to vary it enough so they aren't just miserable doing their chores all the time. But there is also an element of reality of sometimes you just gotta get up and do your chores and it'll be okay. It'll change at some point and you'll get help or you'll switch things up. But sometimes you just kind of have to do the thing. So that's why I do it about once a year instead of more often than that. So for the oldest, I do make sure to put also a time frame next to each item. I find that helps her kind of have an idea of how long each thing should take and keep any one thing from taking too much time. So I'm generous with the times and often they can beat it very easily, but I like that. And this is kind of a worst case scenario where if they're going a little slow, it gives them that little buffer and they still should be able to get their checklist done in a decent amount of time. So the first thing on her checklist is brush your teeth and drink water. That should take about 5 minutes. The second thing is make your bed and tidy your room, which should also take about 5 minutes. Now, it should only take 5 minutes because we are very early into the day and there shouldn't be a lot out. But it's just that reminder to look around, double check, make sure that the room is tidy before you leave it. 5 minutes to get dressed and put your pajamas away. Then she would come downstairs and start making breakfast. And like I mentioned in the other video, the girls both wanted to help with making and cleaning up for each meal. So I put about 10 minutes for that. Breakfast and lunch at our house, if you've seen my meal planning videos, is very simple. So it doesn't take too long to get things out and kind of get that going. And I will also be helping with the making and the cleaning up. It's not like I'm sending them into the kitchen and saying, good luck, kids. It's going to be a group effort and it will just be kind of teaching them those important steps. Then after make breakfast, I put devotions, memory verse, and prayer. And what I have found recently is this works much better for the flow of our morning. If I do devotional time before that, we're kind of trying to rush through it because we want to get to breakfast. Or if we do it after breakfast, they kind of are antsy and they want to be getting going on other things. But during breakfast, they are already sitting. They are already chewing, hopefully, so they aren't talking. And it just is a nice time to be able to get that devotional time in, work on memory verses together, and take that time without feeling rushed through it. So I do recommend that if that is something you would like to add to your routine. Then I put 15 minutes for cleaning up breakfast, and that should be more than enough time. Most days of the week we eat oatmeal, which is very easy to clean up, so that shouldn't be a problem for them there. And then morning chore. Now, this is the first time I've done this, and I am really excited about it. We'll see how well it goes. But the evening routine only goes to here. That's the evening routine. So I used the bottom half of this side, and I wrote out which morning chore goes on which day, because these do vary from day to day, at least they do this year. And Monday, we have make bread. And since the girls will be doing this chore together, they are making bread and cleaning up after it. So this is the only day that the 30 minutes for the morning chore may be a little bit of a struggle, but it'll be okay. If it takes them a little longer on Monday, it's no big deal. Tuesday will be tidy and vacuum the upstairs. Wednesday is a crazy day for us. And so that is just dust upstairs, nice and simple. Thursday, clean kids' bathroom. And Friday, I realized as I was going through this list that she only had 4 days worth of morning chores chosen. So I added this in for her. I will ask her tomorrow if she would rather trade it out for something else. But I put watch brother. And what I mean by this is I have a lot of work that I need to get done on my computer, and it's pretty much impossible to do that while a toddler is awake and about. So sometimes I have asked her if she would take her brother upstairs, maybe read him some stories, play with him in his room, and she's always really happy to do that. She enjoys it. So I think that would be a good thing for her to do on Friday. And Friday is usually a day that I struggle to get any work done. There's just a lot to do to get ready for the weekend, so that will give me a little pocket of time when I can do that. So then we'll go back over here now. Those are the morning chores. After her morning chore, she will practice cello, and I put 30 to 60 minutes on that because some days she feels like practicing more, and that's always a good thing, right? After she practices, I have water your plant. She has a little Christmas cactus that my grandma gave her, and she just needs to check it. It doesn't require a lot of attention, but if she doesn't check it at all, if it's out of sight, out of mind, it does start to wither. So she needs to check her plant, water it if it needs it, and then fold her clothes, which I put about 10 minutes for that. Shouldn't be too much. We just do one load of laundry every day, so it's not like she'll have piles and piles unless she loaded way too much stuff into the hamper. Then she will be done for the day. And then I actually added up all the minutes here before I started this video just out of curiosity, and it should take her 2.5 hours or less, because remember I said I was very generous with all the time here. And I think that's a good amount of time, because that should take her, depending on what time she gets up, to having things done around 9:30 or 10, which gives her a nice buffer of time to work on some schoolwork, to play outside. Maybe she wants to make some soap for her business or something like that. It gives her that buffer in there to do some things that she needs to do that aren't just chores, and gives her some time to relax and play a little bit. Then the next thing for her would be helping make lunch, which I put 10 minutes. Again, lunch, we do leftovers. If you've seen my meal planning videos, you know this. Nice and simple, easy to get out, easy to clean up, so 10 minutes should be sufficient for that. And then 15 minutes I have for cleaning up lunch, because again, it's leftovers, everything's already in a container. If the container's empty, it gets cleaned out, and if it's not, it gets the lid put back on and put back in the refrigerator. So it's pretty simple. And then her bonus. And if you aren't sure what I mean by the bonuses, I do have a whole video showing you how I kind of created this hack for getting my kids to be motivated and almost a little bit excited about doing their checklists in the morning. And I tell you about how I implemented the bonuses and ideas for bonuses that you could do for your kids in that video. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. It will be in the cards and in the description if you are interested in that. And then for her evening routine, we have make dinner, and I put a 30-minute time slot for this. One thing that I tell my kids when it comes to their checklists is my goal is for you to get done with your checklist as quickly as possible. It is not my goal for you to do chores all day, and it's not my goal for you to be working all day. I want to give you a good amount to give you a good work ethic and help you be helpful in the family. But I don't want you to spend your whole day doing chores. So what I'm probably going to do with the dinner thing, it usually takes me more than 30 minutes to make dinner. Although I will have 4 extra hands, so we'll see. Maybe it will only take us 30 minutes. But my idea is when it's time to make dinner, I will set a 30-minute timer, and if it takes me longer than that, I will probably send them off to play or do whatever else they want to do at that time. So 30 minutes for that, and then 30 minutes for family worship. Again, I do this during dinner because I eat faster than they do, and it's just a good time when there's a lot less talking and interruptions when their mouths are busy eating. So it makes us less rushed trying to get through dinner, and it also makes us less rushed trying to get through family worship, because I want to enjoy both of those things. So we do overlap them at this point. That's just working really well for us. Then I have 15 minutes for cleanup dinner. Now, dinner does usually take longer than 15 minutes to clean up because we do make a full dinner, so there's just more dishes. Again, although now there will be 4 extra hands helping, and if there isn't as much to do prepping, maybe one person can start on the dishes and it can be a little bit more cleaned up. We will see. But my plan is to set a timer because I also want to get them to bed, and if it takes too long to clean up, then that gets pushed later. Then I have 5 minutes for putting on pajamas and putting clothes away, 5 minutes for brushing teeth, 5 minutes for tidying their room and getting to bed. And you may notice I didn't leave a lot of time for tidying the room either in the morning or the evening, and that's because my goal is for them to put things away when they're done. So it really shouldn't take that long to just maybe pick up a couple of things that got left out. And then for their bonus for the evening, we actually just started implementing this. So we will see if it works well for us. It was just seeming like evenings were taking so long, and the kids ended up getting into bed late just about every night. Now, they do have swim team a lot of evenings, and it's busy. I get it. But my husband and I also need our evenings without the kids, and having them get to bed so late just wasn't working. So what we are going to do is, if the kids are in bed, in their beds, already, not needing to run to the bathroom, not needing to brush their teeth or anything else, and we are able to tuck them in by 8 o'clock, we are going to give them 15 minutes to read or maybe color or something like that in their bed quietly. And then we will let them know when it's time to actually lights out, go to sleep. But the idea with this is it will motivate them to move a little quicker through the evening stuff. And it, gives them a little bit of incentive because they really like being able to read before bed. They like having that little bit of big girl time, when their brother's in bed and they're actually getting to still stay up a little bit later. And it removes the motivation just from being us going, get ready, hurry up, come on, let's go. It gives them a little bit of motivation as well. So I'm hoping that this will work. If you guys are interested, I'll report back later and see how it goes. But now we can move on to the 6-year-olds. She just turned 6, and she will be 6 pretty much for the whole time we are doing this checklist. So hers is going to be pretty similar, and there are just a few key differences, but I did go ahead and do times on hers as well. She likes things to be similar to her sister's, so I know if I have times on the other ones, she's going to want to see the times too, and they can both kind of time each other and see if they can beat those times. So first thing for her, brush your teeth and drink water, 5 minutes, same thing. Here's where hers is different. Right there is when she needs to start the laundry. And I put 5 minutes on that. Her laundry is upstairs right next to the bedrooms. It's not a difficult thing to do. So it should only take her about 5 minutes to grab the hamper, throw everything in, and get that started. 5 minutes then to make her bed and tidy her room. 5 minutes to get dressed and put PJs away. Then 10 minutes to make breakfast. 30 minutes for devotions, memory verse, and prayer. Now, before she would start with the cleaning up breakfast, she will go upstairs and switch the laundry, which should take about 5 minutes. Then she will come back downstairs and do clean up breakfast, which I have 15 minutes for. I just had to double check because I thought it was 10 minutes before, but no, it's 15 on both of them, so it's all fair. And then I did 20 minutes for her morning chore because she's younger. Her chores are a little bit easier. So that should be enough time for her to do her morning chore. But it does still even out because her starting the laundry and switching the laundry is something her sister doesn't have. So for her morning chore, we'll come over here. Same thing. I put the days of the week and which chore goes with which day. And for Monday, it will be the making bread and cleaning that up with her sister. Tuesday will be the downstairs bathroom, which she's very excited about because it's the smallest bathroom, so she was sure to snag that one up real quick. Wednesday, she is dusting downstairs. Thursday, she will be vacuuming the stairs. Now, I did this intentionally because on Tuesday, her sister is tidying and vacuuming the upstairs, and I did not want to be hearing every week, she's using the vacuum and I need it. How am I supposed to do my chores? As I don't know, have a hunch that I would be hearing every week if they were both vacuuming on the same day. No matter how I organized the schedule, somehow they would all need it at the same time. So I just put them on different days, so hopefully that won't be an issue. And Friday is the downstairs bathroom again. Now, I already know she's not going to be super thrilled about this. But I will offer her tomorrow if she wants to trade out for one of mine. That's fine. I'll trade with her. I was not planning on starting their new routines tomorrow, but they were both begging me to write out their new checklist and start them because they were very done with the old ones. So I had to make up the Fridays just a little bit. But the reason the downstairs bathroom will be twice a week is it's The downstairs bathroom, everybody uses it multiple times a day. And if we ever have company, they see that bathroom. So I like to kind of start the week, it's on Tuesday, but close to the start of the week, with a fresh bathroom, and then have a fresh bathroom right before the weekend. Then after her morning chore will be practice violin. Again, I did 30 to 60 minutes because depending on the day and how they're feeling, they might want to practice longer. Then she will fold her clothes, which should be about 10 minutes. Should actually be like 2 minutes because this child, she's very particular about her clothes, and she only has like 2 outfits that she really loves. And she will wear one, and then she will put it in the washer and wash that one and wear the other one, and then fold that one outfit and then put the other one in the washer. Like, she has a system, and she really only wears like 2 outfits all week long. So she usually only has one thing, like one outfit to fold. She's so funny. Anyway, it should not take her 10 minutes to fold her one outfit and her one pajama, but I made it the same because I just, want to be fair here. So then she will have a little break. Just like her sister, she will have a couple of hours where she can play or do some other things that she wants to do and have some free time before it's time to jump back into doing some other things. So then around lunchtime, she will have 10 minutes to help make lunch and 15 minutes to clean up lunch. And then there's her option for the bonus, or not her option, her little bonus. They like to check off which days they get the bonus for, just as another little thing. So then I forgot to write on hers, and I will just have to do that later or tomorrow, but it will be the same. So it's not a big deal that it's not there, but she will have a 30-minute block to make dinner. Just like her sister, I'll set a timer and then probably send them off once they've helped for a little bit. And then we will have family worship during dinner, clean up dinner, and then put on pajamas and put clothes away, brush teeth, tidy room, and get into bed. And then of course she has that same option for the bonus in the evening of coloring for a little bit in her bed is usually what she chooses to do, and just have that little bit of big girl time before she goes to bed. Now, in the next video, I will be showing you guys how all of this kind of coincides with my new cleaning routine, because the girls took a lot of the things that I had been doing the last year on my cleaning routine, so now I've got to reorganize a little bit, which is fine. It's always kind of fun to get a fresh new routine. Of course, if you love your routine and you don't want to change it, you definitely don't have to. Do whatever is working for you, but I usually find I need to update my routine after the girls choose some of their chores. For me, I always would prefer to let someone else, whether it's my husband, my girls, anyone else who wants to come into my house and help me clean, let them choose first. I just always say, what do you want to do? And I am happy to take even my lesser favorite chores for having some cheerful help. So definitely keep that in mind, especially if you have older kids and they're resistant to doing chores. Letting them choose can go a long way. And again, check out the last video that I did where I show you guys the system that I use for letting my kids choose their chores, if that's something that you want to do. As always, I'm Kassy with MakingTimeForGiggles.com, and I make videos all about how to streamline your home and reclaim 7 extra hours a week. So if that sounds like something you would be into, subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it. All right, guys, that's all I have for today, and I will see you on the next video.